Hey, g'day everybody, it's Matt here from Matt Carves. So usually what happens with wood sprits when you're carving them, you carve them straight down. So you have a center line going straight down the middle. What happens if you carve it on an angle? Like the center line comes from here to here. So the eyes then are going to be not here, but here. That's what we're going to do today.
And you might be asking yourself, Matt, where is the first part of this video? And I asked myself that as well because I accidentally deleted it and I cannot find them. I looked in the recycled bin, they're not there. So we're just going to have to start here, halfway through. But you can see on this, the normal center line, and then there's this, the center line that is off to the side. And to be honest, this carving was really difficult. It sort of like really challenged my mind because sort of like the angles were all different as well, because the center line is off to that side. So on the left side the face falls away a lot more, and on the right side there's more wood to play with. But it just didn't make sense a lot of the time. You can see there I've sort of like drawn on the lines quite a bit to sort of get those eyes right. Had problems with the cheeks, they just didn't want to sort of like look the same, but in the end I kind of sort of like just went with it and just kept on persisting. And I think that's the key, is you just gotta kind of like keep on readjusting and trying to get your mind into that zone with the carving that is in front of you. And this was a really good experiment to sort of like just show myself, and maybe you as well, that we all fall into that kind of like trap that we keep on repeating things over and over again with carving, and we're gonna kind of break away from that sometimes and just sort of like throw something in the mix. And what it essentially does as well, it just makes you look at things in a different perspective. So you're going to be trying to work out how I can get these cheeks to work, how the nose is going to sit on the face if it's on an angle, the eyes are on an angle, all these little different things. It just makes your brain work a little harder. Might need a few more coffees for this one, I feel. And we are rounding the pupil with the Kutzall sphere, and you can sort of see in that black box there's a number 2. That's just sort of like a key to all the burrs that are in this video. So if you look up number 2 in the description, that will be this fine taper burr, and it might have a few more sort of like details like product number and all of that kind of stuff. And these burrs here, they are larger T-shaped burrs. So I think the other burrs, the T-shaped burrs that I normally talk about, they go up to 10 millimeters. These ones go up to, I believe, 16 millimeters, or it could be 14. But they are a lot bigger anyway. And the fine taper Kutzall burr is really good for sort of like details. I try and make that little bit there just quite deep in there. And you can also use the Kutzall taper burr for sort of like putting in a few wrinkles as well. So like those bags under the eyes, sort of just go underneath the bag and sort of put a bit of pressure on. And then you might want to fine it up with a diamond burr or something like that a bit later on.
And if you're enjoying the video so far, hit the like button, and also I do have memberships going on. You don't have to join the memberships, you can just continue watching these videos, but if you want to support the channel a little bit more, you could do sort of just like the lowest tier one, and you get a sort of like a weekly tiny little video on behind the scenes and all of that kind of stuff, or you could go up to the next level and get a weekly video on sort of like how to carve a bed or things like that. I do a little bit extra in those videos, a little bit more low key, but more related to actual real carving and sort of just getting into the finer details.
And the way I do here is I'll use a cutter burr. My favourite cutter burr is that burr right there, the Dremel Max. It's quite expensive, I'll give you that. And a cheaper one will probably work just as fine. So I tend to put the general shape in with that cutter burr. And then sometimes if I want to go deeper, then I'll use one of the T-shaped burrs. And I'm using one of those larger T-shaped burrs. And I sort of go in and make a deep cut, and then I'll go in from the other side and sort of use the pressure on the top of the burr and try and make each valley kind of quite even, I guess you would say, so there's not like a flat part on top of the actual hair. So it makes it into kind of a V. Now we're on to the eye, and I've shown you how to do eyes quite a bit in the past, but yeah, they were always very, very difficult eyes, and I always sort of like, I'm a bit dubious about putting in the pupil, because, oh, not the pupil, the iris, because, you know, you only kind of get one chance. You could probably have a few goes at it if you don't make it too deep. And I tend to use that Dremel wheel point burr. So, and there it is, the eye. And you can sort of like use this burr to sort of like tidy up little real details. And what you want to do is you just go really, really lightly over the top. Almost sort of like when you're shading using a pencil.